Hey family, how are you guys doing? I'm well, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. On my side, I'm doing well, guys. I don't have much to complain about. I don't have much to complain about, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to be now going back to the Labor Relations Act, right? Going back to the Labor Relations Act, and we're going to be dealing with Chapter 4 of the Labor Relations Act. And we first be dealing with the strikes and lockouts, right? The strikes and lockouts, right? That's a very critical issue, the issue of strikes and lockouts, right? So we're going to deal with the right to strike and recourse to lockout, right? Okay, let's get to it, guys. Number one, every employee has the right to strike and every employer has recourse to lockout if A, the issue in dispute has been referred to a council or to the commission as required by this act. And one, and a certificate stating that the dispute remains unresolved has been issued, or two, a period of 30 days or any extension of that period agreed to between the parties to this dispute has elapsed since the referral was received by the council or the commission, and after that, in the case of the proposed strike, at least 48 hours notice of the commencement of the strike in writing has been given to the employer, unless one, the issue in dispute relates to a collective agreement to be concluded in a council, in which case notice must have been given to that council, or two, the employer is a member of an employers organization that is a party to the dispute, in which case notice must have been given to that employers organization, or C, in the case of a proposed lockout, at least 48 hours notice of the commencement of the lockout in writing has been given to any trade union that is a party to the dispute, or if there is no such trade union, to the employees unless the issue in dispute relates to a collective agreement to be concluded in a council, in which case notice must have been given to that council, or D, the, the case of a proposed strike or lockout where the state is the employer, at least 7 days notice of the commencement of the strike or lockout has been given to the parties contemplated in paragraph B and C. Number two, if the issue in dispute concerns a refusal to bargain, an adversary award must have been made in terms of section 135 subsection 3 before notice is given in terms of the subsection 1B or C. A refusal to bargain includes a refusal to recognize a trade union as a collective bargaining agent or to agree to establish a bargaining council. B, a withdrawal of recognition of a collective bargaining agent. C, a resignation of a party from a bargaining council. D, a dispute about one, appropriate bargaining units, two, appropriate bargaining levels, or three, bargaining subjects. Number three, the requirements of subsection 1 do not apply to a strike or lockout if A, the parties to the dispute are members of a council and the dispute has been dealt with by that council in accordance with its constitution. B, the strike or lockout conforms with the procedures in a collective agreement. C, the employees strike in response to a lockout by their employer that does not comply with the provisions of this chapter. D, the employer locks out its employees in response to their taking part in a strike that does not conform with the provisions of this chapter. Or E, the employer fails to comply with the requirements of subsection 4 and 5. Number 4, any employee who or any trade union that refers a dispute about unilateral change of terms and conditions of employment to a council or the commission in terms of subsection 1, subsection A, may, in the referral and for the period referred to in subsection 1A, require the employer not to implement unilaterally the change to terms and conditions of employment, or B, if the employer has already implemented the change unilaterally, require the employer to restore the terms and conditions of employment that applied before the change. Number 5, the employer must comply with the requirements in terms of subsection 4 within 48 hours of the service of the referral on the employer. Right. Number 5, limitations on right to strike or recourse to lockout. Number 1, no person may take part in a strike or a lockout in any conduct in contemplation of furtherance of a strike or lockout if A, that person is bound by a collective agreement that prohibits a strike or lockout in respect of the issue in dispute. B, that person is bound by an agreement that requires the issue in dispute to be referred to arbitration. C, the issue in dispute is one that a party has the right to referral to arbitration or the labor court in terms of this act. D, that person is engaged in 1, an essential service, or 2, maintenance service. At some stage, we'll get to that, to the essential service and the maintenance service. 2A, despite section 65 subsection 1C, a person may take part in a strike or lockout or in any conduct in contemplation or in furtherance of a strike or lockout if the issue in dispute is about any matter dealt with in section 12 to 15. B, if the registered trade union has given notice of the proposed strike in terms of section 64 subsection 1 in respect of any issue in dispute referred to in paragraph A, it may not exercise the right to refer the dispute to arbitration in terms of section 21 for a period of 12 months from the date of the notice. Number 3, subject to a collective agreement, no person may take part in a strike or a lockout in any conduct in contemplation or furtherance of a strike or lockout. A, if that person is bound by 1, any arbitration award or collective agreement that regulates the issue in dispute, or 2, any determination made in terms of section 44 by the minister that regulates the issue in dispute, or B, any determination made in terms of the Wage Act and that regulates the issue in dispute during the first year of that determination. Okay, for now we will leave it at that. Then in the next video we'll go to the secondary strikes, but for now we'll leave it at that, the right to strike. Okay, and just want to thank you guys for tuning in and for continuing to view the channel and the videos on this channel. I really appreciate it, guys, and please do continue doing so. Please continue sharing the videos, different social media platforms that you guys are using. And if you've not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. At the bottom of this video there's a subscribe option. Please do click on it to subscribe. If you've got any questions relating to this video and more information, please do feel free to post those questions on the comment section below this video so we are able to engage. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Mabukhanya.